Hello everyone, back at it again in the Crawdad, and today I thought we'd do something a little different. I want to talk about some of the tools that I bring with me on every trip, every single freshwater trip that I make, and one tool in particular that I don't leave home without. So let's get into it. Okay, there's a bunch of options for tools that you might consider carrying every day as a freshwater fisherman. I got a Leatherman on the deck there. I got a pair of Rapala braid scissors, which are great, by the way. But the one I keep in my bag, the one I reach for every time, is that Swiss Army Fisherman Edition Swiss Army knife by Victorinox. And I also keep a pair of Forceps in there. That Leatherman is a Leatherman super tool, and it is useful. It's got a nice big blade on it. The tools inside, the handles lock, which is nice. It's got a file for sharpening hooks or whatever. But you notice there's a little bit of rust down, right there. I just rubbed it off on my thumb there. It's a little bit of rust there. And so that tool stays in the truck, and it rusts even in the truck. Now I could soak it in WD-40 and keep it in a pouch or something like that. But you know, when I see rust like that starting to form on it, I just clean it up with WD-40 and leave it in the truck. It doesn't stay in the boat except for videos or emergencies in case I forget everything else. Now the forceps, I keep 2 pairs in my bag. Those are mostly for removing deeply hooked fish. And if the fish is really deeply hooked, I'll use both of them. And those rust too. They just kick around in my bag, and every once in a while, like right after I shot this video, I clean them up with WD-40. Scissors are a nice tool. There's a lot of different ones. I think a bunch of them come out of the same factory, but I've had good luck with the Rapala braid scissors. In saltwater, I keep them in my life vest. In freshwater, they stay in the truck. And that's because this Swiss Army knife here, the Fisherman Edition, comes with a great pair of scissors. Now the tools on the back, you know, I really don't use. There's got a parcel hook there. I guess you could put a stringer on it, carry the stringer with that parcel hook, but you know, none of the tools on the back are really useful to me. And I feel like overall they could update this Swiss Army knife to be more fisherman friendly, and I have a bunch of ideas about that, but so far no luck. It's got a screwdriver. It has a 90-degree detent, I think it's called. Can opener. I use those very rarely, you know, if I have to open up, say, the side plate on a Daiwa casting reel. But the scissors, I think, are great. They're a good size. They got that little wire spring in there that helps them bounce back. Every once in a while, it gets bent out of shape. I just bend it right back. And same thing, WD-40 about once a year, and it keeps going. Overall, it seems much less prone to rust than the Leatherman. And this is a tool that I don't think people really appreciate. You push the hooks back on that with that little, I don't know what you call it, that little yoke at the top of the tool, and then guide those hooks back out with tension on the line. So things like bluegill that have really small mouths, ice fishing, I use that tool all the time. It's got a little knife that I usually keep sharp, and this big knife I use for opening packages. They could be boxes, it could be plastic packaging for hooks. Some of those, you know, lure and hook packages are like hermetically sealed, and you need a knife just to get into them, to get at it. But that Swiss Army knife stays with me all the time. It's either in my pocket or in my bag, and I really don't go fishing without it. Okay, that's it. A really quick review on some of the tools I bring with me on every single freshwater trip that I make, especially that Fisherman Edition Swiss Army knife. There's also an Angler Edition with a pair of like slip joint pliers, and I don't like that nearly as much. The Fisherman's the way to go there. Alright, I'll list all of the gear in the video description, just like every other video. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya!